Well, hello there. I'm going to show you how to do my Juniper stitch, and this is it right here. It's a really nice stitch. You can do it flat or in the round. In the round it is more all going one way instead of the two ways here. So it looks different, but it works fine in the round as well. And it's a really easy stitch to do. It doesn't curl. So I didn't do much treatment here. This is just a stitch video though, so I'm not going to show you how to do the whole thing, but you know, I'll definitely tell you what I did to get to this swatch. And the other side looks like this. It actually looks fine. And I'm really liking this stitch and figuring out, wow, I'm going to do a bunch of projects with it because it's so easy to do. And it has such nice texture. Very soft to the touch and cushy. And the loom I'm using is a Cindywood loom. And it's a 5/8 inch loom. It has 36 pegs. Now this stitch can be done on even or odd, that doesn't matter. So, you know, whatever you'd like to use there. The yarn I'm using is I Love This Chunky yarn. This is it right here. And it, of course, it's chunky. And the color is Saturn's Rings. So there it is. It's got a really nice kind of a taupey kind of brown color and cream and white and orange and blue and a little bit of a really dark teal color. It's really quite a pretty yarn. Okay, so that's the yarn I'm using. And then the loom hook I'm using is one that is discontinued. It's a wood loom hook that's been painted, but they do have similar ones on Etsy. I don't think they have any painted wood, but they definitely have similar shapes and kind of an acrylic body. And you can get one very similar. They're just nice, ergonomically comfortable for your fingers, but any loom hook you like is fine, of course. Okay, so let's get going here. I think I did 10 pegs just to give a kind of, well, it does have 10 pegs. That's one thing I wanted to show you, is that it knits up pretty big, because on 10 pegs it almost comes to all the pegs down here. So it's a it knits to a nice size. Okay. Actually, I did a chain cast on, so that's what that looks like. And it didn't need any real edge treatment at all. I knit it right to the edge, so all I did was I did a E-wrap slip, just because it would be a little bigger, since it's a little bigger stitch, and it seemed to work really well to keep this nice and square. So that's what that looks like. So I'll just show you what I did. Okay, so I've already knit the first peg, so I'm going to start here. And all you do, okay, the stitch is done on one peg. All you do is you go around like you're doing a U-wrap, then you go around like you're doing a U-wrap again, right? So you're going to do a U-wrap, then another U-wrap, and then you're going to take both bottom loops over the top. And you want to keep this nice and loose, because it can get really tight, and that's all there is to it. And then you go around 2 times on the next one. Take the bottom over the top. Now if you were going to take the bottom over the 2 top, you'd just get a thicker knit stitch. But when you do this, because this is the working yarn here. This is what's creating the pattern. Okay, so you just go around twice, then you take the bottom 2 over the top. Now it's really easy to control your tension to be loose, because once you've wrapped this yarn is your control right here, right? It's the working yarn coming around. So if you need it to be loose, you just keep your fingers loose and you can pull it looser. Just want to make sure you get over the top. Okay, and twice around, bottom up. Now it's important to go around in a U-wrap motion, because if you do an E-wrap motion, you get a really, really loose version of the stitch. And this is already pretty lacy. Okay, so, and it just gives you, and then too, I'm not sure that it will be as stable. It might have some curl to it, but either way, we're going to come around and knit these 2 over the top. Okay, so wrap it twice, bottom 2 over the top, wrap it twice, bottom 2 over the top. There, a little bit tight, that one. And then we're just going to do this with the edge stitch. Just do a E-wrap, knit it off, and nice and loose, because we want it to be long enough. And then we just come back, and when we're going this way, just gotta get a little more yarn here. Okay, this way we want to go in the way, not like there, not like that. We want to go in front of it like that, like we're doing a U-wrap. Okay, like that. Okay, so now we'll go on the first peg, and we're going to go around in the U-wrap way and knit it off. Okay, so around and around again and knit it off, around and around again and knit it off, round and around again and knit it off. So very, very easy stitch. The only way you can have a problem is if you do it so tight you can't get it over. You just have to remember to do it really loose. So it's pretty easy to do, because you are controlling the tension with this yarn right here. So you go across nice and loose, you go across nice and loose again. It's all nice and loose, and those easily get lifted over the top. And then when we come up to this edge, we do an E-wrap again and knit it. We keep that nice and loose, and then we just come back and we do this again this way. You get to be going really quite fast when you're doing this stitch. Quite easy to do. Whoops, unless you split your yarn. And then E-wrap, nice and loose. Okay, so you can see how much bigger this is already and how much more we did just by doing those couple of rows. So it grows very, very, very quickly. And here it is on the other side. I might be able to see a little easier what the stitch is with the orange color. Doesn't show up on the blue at all, and the white's a bit bright. But that's what it looks like. So if the other side shows, it looks pretty nice. It almost looks like little cloud forms. So it's very nice on this side too. So if you made something and this side had to show, it looks really nice too. Has its own kind of pattern. And then this side has this pattern. And depending what you're making, it looks pretty cool this way too. Okay, so I think that's all you need to know here for this stitch, except that if you do it in the round, it's going to look quite different because the this line here and this line here comes from going the two different directions. So when you're going the same way, your lines are all going to be going this way. So this one here would be going that way too. But it still has the same kind of a deep textured look. So okay, I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, bye.